Throughout history, humans have built empires, waged wars, and shaped civilizations. From the mightiest pharaoh to the most ingenious inventor, we often see ourselves as the architects of our own destiny. But what if nature itself had other plans? Today, we are diving into 5 extraordinary moments when the Earth itself took center stage. 5 times when natural events, in all their awe-inspiring power, changed the course of history forever. We'll journey from the fiery heart of volcanoes to the depths of our oceans, uncovering stories of destruction, resilience, and the enduring impact of nature's grand design. Fasten your seatbelts, dear viewers, as we embark on this captivating exploration of the times when nature, not man, held the pen of history. Our journey begins in the year 79 AD, amidst the bustling heart of the Roman Empire. Picture the sun-drenched streets of Pompeii, a thriving city on the Bay of Naples. Life here moves at the languid pace of a summer afternoon, oblivious to the simmering giant in its midst, Mount Vesuvius. For generations, Vesuvius had slumbered, its slopes cloaked in vineyards and forests, a deceptive picture of tranquility. But beneath this serene facade, unimaginable forces were building, pushing the volcano towards a cataclysmic eruption. And on that fateful August day, Vesuvius roared to life, unleashing a towering inferno of ash and pumice that would forever etch its mark on history. Within hours, Pompeii and its neighboring city of Herculaneum were buried under a suffocating blanket of volcanic debris, their fate sealed for centuries. Centuries passed, and the once great cities faded into legend, their existence known only through whispers and fragments of ancient texts. Then in the 18th century, a startling discovery brought Pompeii back to life. Excavations revealed a city frozen in time, a haunting snapshot of Roman life on the very day of the eruption. Buildings, artwork, even the forms of those who perished were preserved in astonishing detail beneath the layers of ash. Vesuvius, in its destructive fury, had inadvertently created a time capsule, a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of the past. Now we travel to 14th century Europe, a continent on the brink of a different kind of catastrophe. The medieval warm period, a time of relative prosperity and growth, was drawing to a close, giving way to a new climatic regime, the Little Ice Age. Across Europe, temperatures began to drop, summers grew shorter and wetter, and winters became harsher and longer. The very rhythm of life, so closely tied to the land, was thrown into disarray. Harvests failed, famine stalked the land, and a sense of unease settled upon the continent. The Little Ice Age was a slow-moving disaster, its icy grip tightening year after year, weakening the fabric of society. And then, in the midst of this vulnerability, a new threat emerged from the east, the Black Death. Carried by fleas that thrived in the colder temperatures, the plague swept across Europe with terrifying speed, leaving a trail of death and devastation in its wake. The Black Death was merciless, cutting down rich and poor alike, leaving a profound scar on the European psyche. The Little Ice Age, with its icy grip, set the stage for one of the deadliest pandemics in history, forever altering the course of European history. Chapter 3. The Year Without a Summer, Darkness Before Dawn. Our journey takes us now to the year 1815, to the distant shores of Indonesia, where a volcanic eruption of unimaginable magnitude would cast a long shadow across the globe. Mount Tambora, a giant long dormant, awakened with a fury, unleashing a cataclysm that would reverberate across oceans and continents. The eruption of Tambora was unlike anything witnessed in recorded history. Imagine the earth trembling beneath your feet, the sky ablaze with fire as molten rock and ash are hurled miles into the atmosphere. The sound of the eruption was deafening, heard thousands of miles away, a testament to the awesome power unleashed that day. But the true horror of Tambora lay not just in its immediate impact, but in its lingering aftermath. Millions of tons of ash and sulfur dioxide were blasted into the upper atmosphere, forming a dense veil that would encircle the globe, disrupting weather patterns for years to come. The following year, 1816, became known as the Year Without a Summer. Across Europe and North America, the skies grew dark, the air turned cold, and a persistent haze hung heavy in the air. Crops failed, famine stalked the land, and a sense of dread settled upon the world. The Year Without a Summer was a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability to the forces of nature, a global crisis brought about by a distant eruption. Chapter 4, The Dust Bowl, When the Earth Fought Back. Our journey now takes us to the heartland of America, to the vast expanse of the Great Plains, where a different kind of natural disaster would unfold in the 1930s, the Dust Bowl. This wasn't a sudden cataclysm like a volcanic eruption or a tsunami, but a slow-moving ecological disaster driven by a combination of natural forces and human actions. For generations, the Great Plains had been a place of promise, a land of fertile soil where pioneers and settlers carved out homesteads, transforming the prairie into a breadbasket for the nation. But this transformation came at a cost. Years of intensive farming, coupled with a severe drought that gripped the region in the 1930s, left the land vulnerable, stripped of its natural defenses. Imagine the wind whipping across the parched earth, lifting topsoil into the air, creating massive dust storms that blotted out the sun, turning day into night. These black blizzards, as they came to be known, could stretch for miles, engulfing entire towns and cities in a suffocating blanket of dust. Life for those caught in the Dust Bowl was a constant struggle against the elements. The Dust Bowl became a symbol of hardship and despair, a testament to the delicate balance between human activity and the environment. It led to major changes in agricultural practices, with a greater emphasis on soil conservation and sustainable farming methods. Chapter 5. The 2004 Tsunami, a Wave of Destruction and Unity. On December 26, 2004, the Indian Ocean tsunami struck with unimaginable force. Triggered by a massive earthquake off Sumatra, Indonesia, it unleashed giant waves racing across the ocean. Walls of water, some over 100 feet high, crashed onto shores from Indonesia to Somalia. Coastal communities were wiped out, buildings reduced to rubble, lives swept away. The death toll soared past 230,000. Amidst the devastation, stories of hope and resilience emerged. Aid poured in from around the world, uniting nations in humanitarian efforts. The 2004 tsunami highlighted human compassion and resilience in the face of adversity. To outro nature's enduring legacy. From the fiery heart of volcanoes to the depths of our oceans, we've journeyed through time, witnessing the awe-inspiring power of nature and its profound impact on the course of human history. These 5 events, each unique in its own right, serve as poignant reminders that we are not merely passive inhabitants of this planet, but active participants in a constantly evolving story. The Earth has a way of reminding us that sometimes it's the planet itself that writes the story. They challenge us to approach our relationship with the Earth with greater humility, to recognize that our actions have consequences, and to strive for a more sustainable and harmonious coexistence with the forces that shape our world. If you enjoyed learning about how nature has changed history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, which event do you think had the biggest impact on history?